All right, back again. Sorry about the abrupt ending to the last one. I got interrupted by my daughter coming home from school and the dog barking, so apologies about that. I was just going to make that a good stopping point for my first video, and this is going to be my second video. So we're still breaking into the same cards that had going on before. We had ended with just a nice base Ozzie Smith from my collection from the 90s. And we're just going to continue where we left off, and we're going to get right into it. If you like this content, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And let's get going. So the next card that we had going on here was a nice Frank Thomas. Love Frank Thomas, one of my favorite players of all time. This is a Pacific Crown Royale. And I'm going to take this out of its old case here. Let's see if I can find the year. It's so small on here. Holy cow, I cannot read that. I believe it's a 98 Pacific Crown Royale, Frank Thomas. Really cool card. I have no idea who this guy is in the bottom. Firestone on baseball. No idea who that is. Why is he on my Frank Thomas card? There's probably some significance to that. I have no idea. It looks like what's on the back here is a write-up that this guy made about him in some sports journal magazine. I guess that's what's going on there. But great to see some more Frank Thomas in the collection here. Love Frank Thomas. Like I said in the other video, if you watch that, if you haven't, go back and see it. I do have a Frank Thomas signed bat somewhere. So I'm cleaning out my garage. That's where I found these. And somewhere along the line, I'm hoping to come across that Frank Thomas signed bat. It was one of the highlights of my collection. And I know I did not get rid of that. There would have been a Frank Thomas and a Willie Mays somewhere. So excited to see what else I can find in my garage. Next card's a Kirby Puckett. Classic Performances. This is another Upper Deck SP card. And there is some damaging on the top, so after 20-something years, there is a little bit going on here. I'm noticing some of these I didn't put in penny sleeves before I put in the big cases, and I'm sure that that's what's happening on some of these cards here. But this is looks like a 95. This is a 95 Upper Deck Kirby Puckett, Hall of Famer. So glad to see him in my collection. Was again not a huge fan. I think my dad was a really big fan of him back in the day. Kirby was around for a while before I even heard of him in the 90s. So probably kept him around because he's one of my dad's top players. Dad really loved Kirby Puckett. Next one here, Kerry Wood. Wow. So I remember Kerry Wood as being the 20 strikeout guy in the 90s. He had a couple of them, I believe. And wow, did Kerry Wood, was he one of the guys who did a perfect game? I'm going to have to look that up. I think he had a perfect game some point in his career. I'm not sure if it was this year or not. Might have been. But I know he had a few 20 strikeout games. Just reading the back here. Yeah, I don't think this is the year he did a perfect game. I'm not sure he did the perfect. I'll have to look that up. Maybe in another video, I'll go back and I'll let you guys know. Or let me know in the comments. Please comment. Let me know how I'm doing. If I'm talking too much, not enough, going too slow, going too fast. You know, I want this channel to be exciting and entertaining. I think it's entertaining looking at these old cards that I haven't seen in, what was it? 99 was the most recent one so far. So 26 years. 26 years. And most of these are in great condition. It's pretty amazing. Kerry Wood, fantastic pitcher. This is a Omega. It is a it's Pacific trading cards. And it's an Omega. Not sure. Colors are popping. It's sparkly. Very nice card. So, going to put him in a new sleeve here. Put him off to the side. I'm going to move on. A-Rod. Okay, there's a name everybody probably knows, even you younger guys. A-Rod's been around for a while. Name's always in the paper. This is when he was on the Seattle Mariners with Ken Griffey Jr. They were a dynamic duo, along with Ichiro back in the day. This card's got some damage to it. It did not survive too well. This one looks like it's a 97 Pacific Trading Card Company. This is obviously before he got traded to New York later in his career. But huge fan of A-Rod and Griffey at the time, and Ichiro. I don't think I ever got Ichiro cards. I think you're probably just going to see some A-Rods and Griffeys in here. Unfortunately, I don't think I hopped on the Ichiro bandwagon and got his cards. But we'll see. We'll see what we find here. Here's another Manny Ramirez. This is a cool card. Ticket to Stardom. It's an upper deck. This is in one of those yellow cases, so the color's kind of funny. So I'm going to take it out, let you guys see that. Ticket to Stardom. Oh, it's bent. Somewhere along the line, this card got bent. That's too bad. Anyways, 20 years old. I mean, not expecting all these cards to be in perfect condition. This is a cool card, though. Sad to see that it's damaged. This looks like another 96 upper deck. But Manny Ramirez, great player. Loved him. With the Indians on this one. Happy to see that. Moving on here. Got another A-Rod. This card is weird, but this case is so scratchy. Let me take this out of here. See if we can get a better view of this. Wow, that card is stuck. Okay, there we go. Not sure this is, I mean, I can see the reflection in this card. You can kind of, you can see me. There I am. Weird. Future Impact. Alex Rodriguez, shortstop. Upper deck something or other. I don't know. Kind of a cool card. A lot of surface scratches on here. This did not survive well as far as the surface went. But another A-Rod. Love to see A-Rod. Put him in a sleeve real quick. Moving on to second pack over here. This is a really interesting card. I've been eyeballing it for a little bit. You might have saw me put it off to the side on the last video. This is a Mark McGwire card. Now, I can tell you right now that that is not an A's uniform. It's a Pepsi, something Pepsi going on there. I believe the reason why I might have kept this is this was one of his prospect photos before he got drafted. It is a Pepsi card, so I doubt any of this is desirable, but you can see in 86, you know, he played 16 games, had 53 at bats, so his rookie card was back there. And so I'm going to say this photo was probably an 85 or an 84, but the year on this card is obviously an 89. Interesting to see a Mark McGwire not in an A's uniform or Cardinals uniform. So that's just an interesting card. Again, doubtful it has any value other than to a really, really diehard McGwire collector. But it's just interesting to see. It's interesting to see what survived and what didn't of my old collection. Okay, here's another one. Griffey. Told you we were going to see a lot of him. So here's another Griffey, Pacific Crown Royale. We're going to check it out, see if we can get a better visual of this. A little bit of edging going on there, but not too bad. But it's Ken Griffey Jr. We love to see that. Pacific Crown Royale. I must have bought a lot of Pacific Crown Royale stuff. No idea if that was good or not, but that's what I got. And this just looks like a base. It's not any special kind of card. Just a base Pacific Crown Royale. Great picture right after contact. Griffey Jr. Oh, this is interesting. Jeff Bagwell. At one point in my personal baseball career, I adopted Jeff Bagwell's stance. And I did that to help with my balance. I kept getting a little too far forward, a little too quick. going to a Jeff Bagwell stance helped balance my weight during my swing, and I started hitting like crazy. I mean, it literally fixed my swing. So Jeff Bagwell, Stars in Steel. Wow, this card is, I think it's actually made partially of steel. I think there's steel in this card. I think that's why it's called Stars of Steel. I mean, this is a kind of a heavy card when I'm feeling it. So this is an interesting card for sure. It's a 1999 Topps, Stars in Steel. And there's something going on down there. Wow. So yeah, you can hear it. Unfortunately, part of the foil is coming on that bottom side there. That's too bad. But that's why there might be one or two of these Jeff Bagwells in here, because I emulated my stance after him one year. It really helped me. Greg Maddux, probably the greatest pitcher of my 90s generation. Love this guy. The fact that he only threw upper 80s but had so much stuff. He could get into so many hitters' heads. It was just amazing. I mean, he was someone that I emulated. I never could throw over 90 miles per hour either. I kind of had him as one of my heroes because I threw 86, 87, 88, had lots of nasty stuff, kind of pitched like him. So obviously not good enough to make it to the pros, but he was my style of pitcher for sure. And he was just the greatest. And this is a 96 Fleer, Greg Maddux. So might see a few of them in here. He's probably my favorite pitcher that was part of my era of watching baseball. So hopefully we'll see some more of him in here. Let's see what's going on here. Paul Molitor. Wow, that looks like an old card. See if it's not a rookie. Pretty close to, though. This is an 81. Wow. Okay, so this is a 1981 Topps American League All-Star Paul Molitor. Not signed or anything. Centering's really bad. Corners are horrible, and big creases. But 81. I mean, it's 4 years old now. So Paul Molitor, don't know too much about him. Obviously from the card, Brewers second baseman. I'd heard his name a few times in the 90s, and I know my dad would always mention him. Can't remember what he mentioned him about, but I'm assuming he's in this collection as something to save, because somewhere along the line I knew that my dad probably liked Paul Molitor. So we'll keep him off to the side. Next one here is a Frank Thomas Donruss Diamond Kings. This card might be actually out of this box. As you know, this is an 87 Donruss box. So this card might have been out of this box. Not sure. Nope, judging by the year here, this is a 91, so this would have been later. Excuse me. So Frank Thomas, 91. It actually says Leaf on the back, so I'm assuming Leaf purchased Donruss at some point in time, but maintained the Donruss on the card. Interesting. But Frank Thomas, can't get too many of him for me. One of the greatest to ever play the game right there, Frank Thomas. Next one's going to be a Griffey. Another Griffey. This is a Techno. We saw a couple of these in the last video there. These cards are just super cool. Colors are great. They got the foil and stuff going on in the back. This one's in great condition. Corners are awesome. This is a great Griffey right here. Loving this card. Just going to take a second here and put them in a little different case. And there we go. Ken Griffey Jr. If you're interested on what kind of cases I use, I just went out and I got these I saw these at Target. I was trying to purchase clean ones of these. They didn't have them. Asked the guy around. They said that everyone is going to these now, and these are what they're going to start stocking. And not sure how I like them. They're a little flimsy. They do have a harder side. What I do like, though, is it has this little flap, and these are called the Pro Ultras. It has this little flap. You take this, and it's a little sticky right here, and you slide the card in, you put this down, and it seals in the card. So some of the damage that we are seeing from these wouldn't be getting in there because the top would be sealed, and they're supposed to be, you can reuse them. Like you open this back up, take the card out, put another one in, etc. So those are called Pro Ultras. They come in boxes that look like this from your local Target. Ultra Pro Card Preserver, first of its kind. Again, not really sure I'm a huge fan or sold on them yet, but we're going to try them out. Next card, Sammy Sosa. This is another Stars in Steel, just like that Jeff Bagwell we just saw. Yeah, there's some weight to this card. There's some weight to that card. So I'm thinking steel plays a part in the construction of these cards. This one's in a little bit better condition. I don't see the front print peeling away from the metal on this one, front or back. So this is actually a really nice card. Sammy Sosa, Chicago Cubs. I forget what year this was. It was a 98. So 98. Sammy Sosa, Stars in Steel. Great year for Sammy Sosa. Him and Mark McGwire going after those home run records was very exciting time to be into baseball. Very exciting time. So glad to see some Sammy Sosas are surviving to here. Ken Griffey Jr. This is an interesting card. This is an upper deck. I think this is just a standard base card. I don't think there's anything special here. Yeah, this is just a standard base Ken Griffey Jr. upper deck. And this year is 97. And it looks like I have one right behind it. So there's another one right there. So I kept a couple of these. Obviously my favorite player. So we're going to see some more cards of him than anybody else. Ooh, there's some texture right here. This is kind of neat. This is a pretty neat card, but this is just a standard upper deck. There's no, I don't think this is an insert or anything special about this card. This was just the way these cards looked out of this year and this series. Moving on, Frank Thomas coming up. A Lumber Company from a 95 Fleer. This is a great card. I do remember the name Lumber Company. This was pretty big back in 95. You got these lumber companies, you got a hot card. I think they were some type of short print insert. This one's numbered 9 of 10. And there's only a few guys playing at that time got these lumber companies. It was a very short checklist, I remember. It was only the biggest names during 95 that would have this lumber company card. So Frank Thomas, not surprised he's on there. Again, great player. So happy to see some more of him in this collection and see that he survived. Something to tell my kiddos about. I got 4 kiddos. My oldest is 14 and my youngest is 3. And they give my wife and I a run for our money for sure. But I'm really excited to see if they can get into baseball, especially my 3-year-old. He's my first boy. My others are girls. They tried softball, but wasn't their thing. So maybe my little boy will be into baseball and I can share some of my passion and skills. I was a pretty skilled baseball player at one point in time. So I'm hoping this channel, maybe I'll bring him onto the channel and see if I can't get him interested in baseball. So here's another Mark McGwire online, Pacific. This is when he was on the Cardinals. So this is probably 97 or 98. Looks like 98. Just a standard card, just a Mark McGwire online Pacific Crown card. Nothing too special there. Cal Ripken. Okay, so this must be the 91, like we saw that Frank Thomas earlier. But man, they sure look like the Diamond Kings from the other series too. Yeah, so 91 Leaf, Donruss Diamond Kings, Cal Ripken. I was a big Cal Ripken fan. I'm surprised I have not seen any more Cal Ripkens. He must have been one of the guys I ended up getting rid of, which is too bad. Loved Cal Ripken. I forget the total number of consecutive games played, but Hall of Famer, holds the record for consecutive games played, somewhere 2,300 or something like that. Great player, great guy to get behind. I mean, he's a hero player to so many people. Moving on to the next stack here. We got another Sammy Sosa. This is an interesting card. It's called Epic Figures, SP Authentic. So I think it's that same upper deck that we saw a little while ago. Is some type of insert. Sosa burst out in 98 as one of the game's greatest sluggers, challenging for the single-season home run record and becoming a national icon in his native land, the Dominican Republic. So 98 upper deck, Epic Figures. And this card is in great condition and is pretty cool looking. You're holding it in my hand. I mean, this is a pretty cool card here. So we'll get that protected up. Probably one of my better Sammy Sosa cards I'm seeing here so far. So that's interesting. Again, not a super short print or anything like that. Probably not a whole lot of value here. Just a cool card for me. A lot of memories associated with the Sammy Sosa, Mark McGwire home run hunt in the 90s. So very, very cool. Very cool. I got Johnson. Wow. Randy Johnson, just dominating pitcher. I mean, when you talk about dominating pitchers from the 90s, I think Randy Johnson's probably the first name you think of right behind, and then maybe Pedro Martinez right after. Not sure. This is a really, really cool card. This is all recessed. So this is like a border, and then the picture with the lightning is all recessed. It's very cool. Invincible. Really hard to tell if this is centered or not with the way they have this laid out. Corners are magnificent, and this card survived. It's in great condition. Very, very interesting, Randy Johnson. It's not numbered, so it's just some type of insert. Really cool. Love Randy Johnson. Probably not going to see too many in here, just because I think it was just unlucky. I didn't get a lot of Randy Johnsons. But that's a cool card. Glad I got at least one. Moving on. Mike Schmidt. What is this? This is obviously some sort of later year reproduction of some kind. I mean, this says Joe DiMaggio established. What year? I can't even read that. I think it says 93. 500 down here. I think it's home runs. I think he joined the 500 club along with a few others. This must be some sort of weird offshoot. I mean, this says 1994, the Ted Williams Card Company. So I don't know much about this card. If you do, say something in the comments. I have no idea what's going on with this card. It's kind of interesting. It's got some weird texturing going on here. And you can kind of see the vertical lines. That's part of the card. It's not some sort of damage. That's the way this card is. But yeah, interesting. Mike Schmidt, obviously, Hall of Famer. Great player. I think I have a couple of his cards. Don't know if we'll see him in here. I had a couple of his cards. I should say that. So Mike Schmidt. Really big fan of him. His name is a lot like mine. His name is Mike Schmidt. My name is Mike Smith. So always kind of associated that with him. Next one here, we got Greg Maddux. Diamond. What does that say? Dynagon Diamond. Pacific. Probably a 97 or a 98. It's a 99. So Greg Maddux. Love Greg Maddux. Glad to see him in here. I don't know if I have any of his older cards. We'll see. But it's very cool. Very nice to see some of these older cards. Here's another one. It's very similar to the card we saw before with this style. Pacific Crown collection. Greg Maddux. This is just a standard card. Nothing super special about it other than it's Greg Maddux. Love seeing him. Love seeing that he survived. Okay, here's another Cal Ripken. So maybe I do have a couple of them. This one's called Crunch Time. This one's upside down in here for some reason. There's some damage up at the top. This one did not survive very well. But it's a Topps Stadium Club. Very cool photo. Very cool colors. Cal Ripken. Get him protected. And we'll move on. Got a Frank Thomas, another big hurt. Power Zone, Upper Deck. This looks like it's die cut and in great condition. Oh, maybe a little bit of scuffing down there on the left. Thought this was one of the ones that maybe it survived a little bit better than the other die cuts we'd seen. But this is a 98 Upper Deck Frank Thomas Power Zone. We'll get him in a different covering. Gotta learn how to do this all over again here. There we go. Moving on. Another Frank Thomas. Man, I got lucky with Frank Thomas's. This is a zone, but this is a Fleer 96, some type of insert. Maybe some sort of short print, but I don't think it's a super short print. Very cool card. Very thin. It's pretty thin and flimsy. I'm surprised it's in as good a condition as it is, actually. This is a 96 Fleer. Let's read the back here. He is the only player in Major League history to bat 300, hit 20 home runs, score 100 runs, collect 100 RBIs, and draw 100 walks in 5 consecutive seasons. That's pretty outstanding, yeah. Only 4 other Major League Baseball players have ever knocked in 100 runs in each of their first 5 full seasons. How does he do it? I don't know if that record is still standing. It's obviously been some great players since Frank Thomas, but that's some pretty crazy numbers. And you can see why I collected him. Absolutely great player. Loved Frank Thomas. I don't know, again, I haven't been up to date with who is and who isn't in the Hall of Fame from the 90s. I'd be very shocked if he is not in the Hall of Fame. He's got to be, right? I mean, wow. So Mark McGwire, another one, 70, remarkable. So this one's kind of cool because it has the 70 on it from when he hit 70. Upper Deck. Let's see here. A blast into the upper deck in left field off of Houston closer Billy Wagner gave McGwire his 38th homer on July 11th and lifted St. Louis to a dramatic 4-3 win in 11 innings. So this isn't the card from the 70th home run. It just says 70 remarkable. So it must be kind of like a series where maybe they documented each of his home runs in a card form. And this one just happens to be calling out the home run number 38. So anyways, interesting. Really good card. Really good condition. Mark McGwire on the Cardinals. And wouldn't you know it? Okay, another Mark McGwire here. Epic Figures. We kind of saw that with, I think, a Griffey card earlier. This one not in as great condition. A little bit of damage going on in the upper right there, but still a cool card, cool colors. Some type of insert going on. Another Mark McGwire. Like I said, we'll probably see quite a few of them. Next one, Chipper Jones. Did we already see this card? This might be a duplicate card or not. I'm not sure. I know there was another one. Maybe it was a Mark McGwire that we saw in this card. But this is actually kind of a base card. This isn't some crazy card. They actually came out with a series that was die cut like this, and a lot of these didn't make it. But Chipper Jones. So kind of talked about him already. my aunt's favorite player. Probably why he landed in the save pile. Alex Rodriguez, Topps Tech. Is this one of those peel cards? I'm not sure. This card's got some thickness and heft to it. I mean, it's all plastic. Not much going on there. There's some sort of line there, but that's not damage. That's on the print from the original card. That's not damage. It's very, very weird. You can see it on both sides. I don't know why that's going on there. But A-Rod. Love A-Rod. Loved watching him play in the 90s. One of my heroes. I was a shortstop. A-Rod's a shortstop. Love that guy. Here's another shortstop. Nomar Garciaparra. I don't know what happened to him. I really don't. I remember he played for the Dodgers briefly. And then he like vanished. I never heard what happened to him. Never compromised. Ooh, I don't know if you guys can see that in the light, but that never compromise is just all through that card. And this is a Topps Stadium Club. Really cool. I don't know how short of a print this is. It's some type of short print insert. I don't know how short. This is a 99. So again, this is the latest year that we have so far in this box from when I started collecting. So another thing that I probably haven't mentioned in this video is I'm searching through this box, not only to see what survived, but to see when I stopped collecting. And so far, 1999 seems to be the year that I probably stopped collecting. Here's another one of those cards similar to that Mike Schmidt we just found. This one is Ted Williams. So interesting. I'd like to know more about this series. If you know anything about this series, let me know in the comments. I know nothing about this series. I have no idea where these came from, how I got them, but they're pretty cool. Teddy Ball Game. Ken Griffey Jr. Power Race. Add this to my... Oh, this one actually was in a penny sleeve. So, does look like it survived pretty well. You guys can kind of see that. This is a Score, 96 Score. Not a very great name. No one really remembers Score as far as trading cards are concerned, I don't think. So don't know if there's value here, but there's value for me because it's Ken Griffey Jr. and I can't get enough Ken Griffey Jr. I was there at the game when he crashed into the wall and broke his arm. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look up the video. I'm sure it's out there somewhere. That's how hard that guy played. He broke his arm running down a ball in center field, crashing into the wall. I want to say he still made the play. I'm pretty sure he did. But even if he didn't, still just great effort, right? I mean, the guy played hard. Tony Gwynn. Probably hands down the best hitter of the 90s, of the generation. This guy was phenomenal. Every time the Padres came to the town, we would see them play at the Oakland A's Coliseum. My dad would get season tickets. He would usually give away the tickets, but when it was a team we wanted to play or a player we wanted to see, we would always go to the game. And Tony Gwynn, he's one of those guys that we always saw. His hitting style and the way he hit was just, it was above and beyond everybody else playing at that time. So not surprised he's here. Kind of surprised I haven't seen more. But Tony Gwynn, one of my idols. I would put him down as probably the greatest hitter of the game, certainly during my generation and probably others. Nomar. We've seen a couple cards like this before. This is just kind of a base of whatever series this was. Nomar, again, great shortstop. Not sure what happened to him. If you guys know or can tell me, please let me know in the comments below. What happened to Nomar? He was a great player, and all of a sudden I know that there was a time stop sometime after this, sometime when he played for the Dodgers, And I don't recall ever hearing what happened to him again. Did he get hurt? Did he retire suddenly? What happened? Let me know in the comments. Love that guy. Got another Griffey. Moving along here. Loving to see all these Griffies. Got a nice Griffey stack going here. That's not damaged. That's the balls from the print. This card survived well. Very nice card. Pacific Crown Royale. I think it's just a base. It says Pillars of the Game on the back. There's a nice little thing on them. One thing I'm noticing about some of these cards is they don't have stats. And that probably hurts the value of these cards, I would imagine. You know, it's great having this little thing here, but where's the stats? Where's all of his home runs? Where's that's just weird. Interesting. 98 Pacific. Ken Griffey Jr. Crown Royale. Moving right along here. I can see the next card coming up is going to be a Scott Rolen. Not sure how he survived. I do remember Scott Rolen, the name. Not sure. Obviously the Phillies, but was he a shortstop? I might have just collected him because he was a shortstop. He was a third base. So not sure. Looks like 1999 Topps Company, Scott Rolen. I mean, he was huge. I remember his name. Not sure how he survived in my collection. I'll have to look him up. Maybe I'll ask my dad. Maybe he's one of my dad's players and I kept him for that. I don't have much of a memory of that. Another Scott Rolen. So two in a row. Scott Rolens. These are pretty cool cards. These Topps Techs. You can see Tech down in the bottom there. Sorry, I bumped the video I got going on. These are pretty cool cards. They're all plastic. They're kind of bent. But that's probably the way they are made to be. Corners are super sharp. They're nice and thick. So they're durable. They're going to last. But Scott Rolen, not really sure. Not sure what's going on there. Clemens. Okay. Boston Red Sox. I know later in his career, I think he pitched for, I know the Yankees and I think a couple other teams. But he'll always be a Red Sox to me. Roger Clemens, one of the great pitchers. I mean, I think you all know who Roger Clemens is. Absolutely fantastic pitcher. A little bit of a bulldog on the mound, right? So, yeah, it looks like 84 might have been his rookie year. 133 and a half innings pitched. Yeah. So, oh, I'm sorry. The year of this card is 1989, and it's a Fleer. So, not his rookie card, but a nice Roger Clemens nonetheless. Yeah, you can see corners are really nice. No idea about centering on this card. I mean, it looks nice, but with the way they printed this out, it's super hard to tell. I have no idea. But Roger Clemens. Love to see that. And right behind him, another Roger Clemens. Boston. Can't go wrong with the Roger Clemens in a Boston uniform. I don't think he did as well when he wasn't pitching for Boston. I may be wrong in that. Not sure. But, yeah, he was always just a Red Sox to me. Just a big fan of the pitchers. I pitched a little bit, so there'll be a few of these in here. I know my brother, super into Roger Clemens. One of his idols for sure. So I'll keep that guy around. Got an A-Rod. One of these future impact cards. These were a weird card. This one had that mirror thing going on, and it's all scratched up. I mean, I don't know what they were thinking here, but these cards, I don't know how these were going to be ever survivable with this mirror thing going on here. Very odd. But it's kind of plastic. It's flimsy. I mean, it is durable. It's just the surface on this was never going to survive. I don't know what they were thinking here. It's an upper deck, and it's an A-Rod. And somehow it survived. This is a weird card. small 97 Fleer Ken Griffey Jr. something or other. I'm sure I just kept it because it has Griffey on it. Some type of short print, says 2 of 15. Yeah, no idea history behind this card, but my favorite player, Ken Griffey Jr. I'm sure I found it somewhere and saved it, and that's where that one landed in my collection. I'm gonna put him in a, having trouble with the thing here, hold on, sorry. There we go. And put them with my Griffies. All right, now we're gonna move on to these cards on the right over here. I'm interested to see what these are. I got something really big in a slab down here. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Can you guys see that? I'm gonna try to hide that. I'm gonna save that one. That's a crazy autograph, and I'm super shocked to see it. I don't remember a whole lot of autographs in my collection. I didn't get a bunch of, you know, the big boxes and where you would normally find autograph stuff. So the fact that I have an autograph in here is it's pretty crazy, and that's a big one. So stick around to see what that one is. It's pretty crazy. This card here, somewhere along the line, I found these weird plastic containers, but Topps Mark McGwire 60 home run record, big 60 on here. I'm sure I saved it for that reason. I'm going to try to get into this and get this in a different container because this thing's just kind of weird. I don't like this. I'm not sure I like this. So here we go. I think I might have already kind of shown you guys this card, I think on the first one. But 60 home runs, 1998. Reds opposing pitcher, Dennis Reyes. Men on base, 1. September 5th, 1998. Mark McGwire ties Babe Ruth's all-time home run record with 60. So that's a cool card. Not sure if any of these cards have value or will hold value or be valuable in the future. Just cool cards that I collected from the 90s with a whole lot of memories for me addressed with these. So it's really cool to see these. I'm really glad they managed to survive, and hopefully I can share these with my kids one day. And that's the goal here. Ooh, this next one, Yogi Berra. This is obviously from my dad's old set. My dad moved one year, and my grandma, his mom, threw away all of his cards. So, you know, super bummed about that, but a couple cards survived, and this had to have been one of them. This obviously would not have been something in my collection that I would have been able to get. But this is a Yogi Berra. Decent condition for age of the card. Obviously not super centered well, but corners are only slightly scuffed. Edging's nice. And it's a, excuse me, lost my voice there. It's a 63. 1963 Topps Yogi Berra. Obviously not any special rookie or anything like that, just a Yogi Berra. When we went to high school, the catcher me and my brother had was nicknamed Yogi. Just all over behind the plate. Never let a ball go past him, and that's kind of how Yogi was. So pretty cool catcher. Nice to see a nice old card in my collection. A little surprising. That one. Yogi Berra, 1963 Topps. Very surprising to see that card. Ooh, Greg Maddux as a Cub. Is this a rookie? This is a Fleer. Is this a rookie? Guys, I think this is a rookie. It says 86 Cubs, only 31 innings pitched. But I think that means this is a rookie card, because this is an 87 Fleer. But wouldn't it say like RC somewhere on here? I don't know. Let me know in the comments if this is an actual rookie or not. Be very interested. I don't know if there's value even for Greg Maddux as a rookie, but really cool, really old card. If it's not a rookie, it's a second-year card, so really nice to see that. Again, Greg Maddux, probably my favorite pitcher growing up in the 90s. Idolized him. So very cool to see. I hope that is a rookie. That'd be really cool. That would be really, really cool. Mark McGwire, 400 home runs, Upper Deck SP. And this card, this card is numbered 1692 out of 3,500. So this is a numbered Mark McGwire Upper Deck SPX. Very cool card. You can take it out, see if I can get a little closer look. Ooh, it's pretty thick. So it's durable. Power, passion. That's what that says there. I don't know if you guys can see it. Power, passion. So this is some type of short print insert. And like I said, 1692 out of 3,500. Mark McGwire. Power, passion, Upper Deck, SPX. And the year is 1998 as a Cardinal. 400 home runs. Very cool. Very cool. So yeah, it looks like that stack on the side that was sitting over there definitely is the better of the cards that we've been going through. Looks like maybe that Greg Maddux might be the rookie. Maybe that's why it was over in that pile. Interesting. Very interesting. So there's a 1990 Fleer Sammy Sosa. Is this a rookie? Do I have a Sammy Sosa rookie? Shows 89 White Sox, 99 at bats. This is a 99, but this card is a 1990 Fleer. And I don't see the rookie. So I don't know if this is, again, very strange. I don't know if this is a rookie card or not. Probably not. But definitely, I mean, it would have been the first year he played a full season, because right here it says White Sox, only 99 at bats, games 33. So he must have been brought up later in the season, and 1990 would have been his first full season. So, interesting. Very interesting. Sammy Sosa, Mark McGwire, going after it. I'm sure I got these cards somehow, some way, because of that big chase that they were going for with the single season home run record. Very interesting. Okay, another Sammy Sosa. This time a 90 Don Russ. This card has got some stuff going on in the corners for sure. That card has some stuff going on in the corners for sure. But Sammy Sosa says 1989 Rangers White Sox games 58 at bats 183. That's weird. It has different stats than the other Sosa. Oh, maybe not. This one has 89 Rangers and then 89 White Sox, 84, 99. This one just has them combined. Okay. So 89 was probably his rookie card year, and 90 was just his full first season year. So very interesting. Glad to see Sammy Sosa made it in the collection. Unfortunately, this card is a little damaged, but still, Sammy Sosa is a cool card to have. I'm going to save him up. And moving on. Oh. So I got another autograph here. Who is this? Ben Grieve. Oh, Ben Grieve. He was huge on the A's in the 90s. I mean, when he was a rookie, is this his rookie year? I don't know if this is his rookie year or not. When he was a rookie, he came on and he just smashed. I mean, he was probably the biggest name on the A's when he came up. And this year is a 1998 Don Russ. On the back here it says, when Ben stepped to the plate for his first major league at bat last season, so this is not his rookie, last season was the rookie. Music from The Natural blared throughout the stadium. Pure hype, perhaps not. Ben responded with 3 doubles in his first game, and the tag is 1998 Rookie of the Year frontrunner. So like I said, this guy was huge when he came on. This is not numbered, and it is Donruss Signature Series Ben Grieve autograph card. So pretty cool. Like I said, we grew up in the Bay Area, and we had season tickets to the A's games. But we wouldn't necessarily go to see the A's play. We would always go to see usually the opposing team play. You know, we'd go to see the big names of the other teams. We were Dodger fans in the Bay Area, so we avoided Candlestick Park and the Giants. So we would hang out at the A's games and watch the opposing team plays, and obviously when our Dodgers came to town. So got to see Ben Grieve play quite a bit. This next one is very interesting. This is Frank Thomas, but not the Frank Thomas we're thinking of. This is a much older Frank Thomas. I actually don't know who this is. I don't know anything about this guy. But this card is a Fleer, not sure what year. It is an autographed collection. So this is a certified autograph of Frank Thomas. And it says year 1999. Pirates. So whoever this Frank Thomas is, he played for the Pirates. There's something down here. Let me get it closer so I can read it. Nobody knows him, but everybody wants him is what it says. Sports Illustrated. And this photo is July 20th, 1958. So this must have been the cover. I think this was the cover of Sports Illustrated. Excuse me for my dog. Cover of Sports Illustrated, Frank Thomas autographed card. Please be quiet. Thank you. My wife just got home with the kiddos coming home from school, and so the dog's going nuts. So I apologize for that barking in the background. But again, I'm kind of doing this on a whim, so we got to handle those little outbursts. No big deal. Earl Weaver. I recognize the name. Can't tell you anything about it, but I do recognize the name. Baltimore Orioles is another autograph, Sports Illustrated. I don't know how I got these autographs. These are kind of nuts. Again, I think this is the cover of a Sports Illustrated magazine put into a card, and Fleer got them to sign it. So interesting. Don't know much about Earl Weaver. And I'm sure these cards just got saved just because they're autographed, right? There's the certificate of authenticity on the back. 99 Fleer, Earl Weaver. For the Indians, excuse me. I'm not sure if I got that wrong, but this is for the Indians. It says Baltimore's resident genius. What's going on? No, it's Baltimore. I'm sorry. Baltimore Orioles, Earl Weaver. Autograph. It's pretty cool. There's some autographs. Like I said, I don't think I ever really was collecting autographs. Didn't really have the money to get those higher end cards, so it's very... it would be very uncommon for me to have these autographs. And the autograph that's in this box over here is absolutely amazing. So I don't understand. I don't know where I got them. Be honest with you. I have no memory. I don't have a memory of pulling these cards. I don't know where I got them. Okay. All right. I do have a Maddox rookie. Rated rookie, 87 Donruss. 87 Donruss would have been in this box. 87 Donruss. So this is probably one of the only cards that got saved from this box. But it's really cool. I got a Greg Maddux rated rookie Donruss 1987 card. It has a little bit going on with the corners, not much. Pretty good condition. And I don't have a measuring tape or anything. It looks a little askew, you know, right to left maybe, but the centering's not too bad. I don't know if these cards are worth getting graded or anything like that, but pretty good condition card. Greg Maddux, rated rookie. So that's cool. Very cool to see. Going to get him put in a new container here real quick. Sorry. And we'll move on to this next one. This next one here has me a little excited. You guys can't see it. You guys can see just the little upper corner. Maybe I should put these over here just a little bit so you guys can see them. Get some of this stuff out of the way real quick. Got all these old sleeves I don't want to keep anymore. So what do you see down here? This is in the shape of a glove. And this is John Smoltz. Huge pitcher in the 90s. Huge pitcher. Great pitcher. I don't know if this might have been a Golden Glove type thing where he got a Golden Glove and they did this special insert. So I am going to take this out and just see how special this card actually is. And you can see how it's cut. This is all cut right here. It's in great shape. I don't see any scuffing or anything going on with that. This is John Smoltz. Let me see if I can read what's going on here. Oh man, I cannot. Statistical standout, maybe, is what it says. What I'm trying to read is some gold lettering right here. And I think it says statistical standouts. Really, really hard to read. But cool picture. I like how the glove is closing in on him. I almost want to open it up like a book, but obviously I'm not going to. I don't want to damage the card. And right up here it says 97 Leaf. I'm sorry, my hand's in the way. Right up here it says 97 Leaf. So really cool card. And it's numbered. Okay. Right down here on the bottom left, it's numbered 105 to 1000. And it's number 14 of 15 of whatever insert this is. But this is a really, really cool card. John Smoltz, numbered 105, 1000, statistical standouts, die cut glove. I'm pretty sure this was some type of Golden Glove thing. Maybe he got a Golden Glove award, maybe he didn't. I know he was a great defensive pitcher and just a great pitcher all around for the Braves. Got them through multiple championships and multiple World Series. And obviously one of my aunt's favorite pitchers, her being a huge Atlanta Braves fan in the 90s. So that's a pretty cool card. 105 out of 1000. So pretty low numbered. Pretty low number. Very cool. Is that Jeff Bagwell? Yeah, Jeff Bagwell down here on the right. So Don Russ, slugging percentage production line. Not sure why it was over on the right. Don't really see too much special going on with it. It's got some stars going on, some coloration going on. Production line. 592 slugging percentage. It was always a big hitter. Oh, it's a numbered card. Okay, so it seems like what's going on with this last thing here is it looks like there's just old cards, autograph cards, numbered cards, rookie cards. So pretty cool. Highlights. So it looks like Jeff Bagwell was not number one. Larry Walker was this year. You can see Ken Griffey, Mark McGwire, Piazza and Thomas, and Jeff Bagwell right up there at the top, right after Frank Thomas. 592 slugging percentage, 7 of 20. This is a 97 Don Russ, numbered 399 of 592. So pretty cool to see some numbered cards in here. Pretty nice. Like I said, I like Jeff Bagwell. Emulated my baseball stance after him for a period of time to fix my weight distribution problem when I was playing, and helped tremendously. So if you're a baseball player and find yourself getting on your front foot just a little too often, look up Jeff Bagwell. He spread out his stance to help him get more balance. And so when he lifted up his front foot, your weight would have to be back. Otherwise, you just fall over. And by doing that and keeping your weight back, and it fixed my swing and helped him in his slugging percentage. I mean, he was a absolutely phenomenal hitter and hit for power. I mean, he hit for power. Great hitter. So glad to see that. Holy crap. Is that a McGwire rookie? The rookies. 87 Don Russ, the rookies. Mark McGwire rookie card with the A's. 87 Don Russ. Must have been out of this box. Horribly off-centered. Not very great there. Corners look good. I mean, wow, look at that. colors pop. I mean, the green and everything on here, for this being an old, what you'd call junk wax area card, I think this was like the end of the junk wax area. Very nice condition. Mark McGwire, a rookie card. Pretty amazing. Loving to see this. Loving to see this. You know, I don't know what you folks think about the whole steroid and everything that happened probably right after I stopped collecting cards here, early 2000s. But a lot of baseball players got dragged through the mud. Their name got dragged through the mud. So I don't know what happened as far as Hall of Fame inductees, stuff like that. I don't know if they were qualified or disqualified due to the allegations and the testimonies and stuff that happened, even to Barry Bonds later in his career. Sammy Sosa, Mark McGwire, Jose Canseco, I mean, they're all part of that steroid use, HGH, and all that stuff going on. My take on it was your stats are your stats. Whether you got caught at one point in time or another, your stats are your stats, and you should be judged by those, even if you did the steroids. Because let me tell you, folks, to hit a 95 to 100 mile an hour fastball, you got to be amazingly talented. These people who did the steroids and everything, they got a little bit of muscle behind it, for sure. Probably some balls maybe shouldn't have gone home runs than others, but the talent was still there. I mean, you cannot deny that talent. And all it did was help them just get that next level, right? And it was mostly fan driven. I mean, I don't know if you guys know this, but in the 90s, it was, and the 80s, because this is going on, I mean, players have been doing this for a long time, even before this all came out and the allegations and everything. But, I mean, the fans drive what these Major League Baseball players did. I mean, it was all about getting people in the stands, and they did whatever was necessary. I mean, it was their platform. They didn't have social media in this. It was their platform to get out there and be beloved and be a hero to some little boy. And so, you know, that's kind of my stance. Let me know what your stance is. Should they have been dragged through the mud so much, and should they be ineligible for Hall of Fame induction? I don't know. You know, it's not up to me to decide. That's just my 2 cents. I think they should be. I think they should be considered. And I think Pete Rose should be considered. And I think he is. Did he? I'll have to look that up. I know there was a documentary about trying to get inducted into the Hall of Fame a couple years back. And I think he passed away not too long after that documentary. And I don't remember if they did finally let him in or not. So let me know about that in the comments too. I'm going to look that up after this. Because he's another one. Should be in the Hall of Fame for sure. No arguments. But moving on. Next card here is a Kerry Wood pitcher, obviously. Over here on the left, it says Youth Movement. That's what that says. And this is an Upper Deck SPX. This is recessed in here. I don't know if you can kind of see it, but you can see how this little medallion here is recessed. And it feels like copper foil, maybe. I'm not sure. Thinking, yep. Okay, so this was another numbered card. 2,122 out of 5,000. So interesting. Wood was one of the hottest Major League rookies during the first part of 1998, setting a Major League record with 33 strikeouts over 2 games. That's pretty phenomenal. I mean, 2 games, that's 58 outs total, 33 of them strikeouts. Like I said, I know this guy had multiple 20 strikeout games, and I swear, I thought I remember he pitched a perfect game at some point. It was later on in his career, but I thought he did. Let me know in the comments. But cool, another numbered card. Kerry Wood, great pitcher. Huge highlights out of the 90s. Haven't heard his name in a while. Not sure if anybody collects him or thinks of him as a desired person for their collection. He is for mine. Lots of memories. And this card's in great condition. Great condition card. Glad to see a lot of these are survived in great condition. Andruw Jones, World Series. Again, it looks like it says Power Passion. So this must be another numbered card from Upper Deck. I'm going to take it out of here. You can kind of see these old ones there. Can't really tell in that photo, but these things are scratched up. The cases, not the cards. So glad the cases took the damage and not the cards, right? So this is Andruw Jones, 96, 2 World Series home runs and Power Passion card. And it is numbered. So 1963 out of 3,500, Andruw Jones. So glad to see Andruw Jones surviving in the collection here. And another numbered card. Getting down to the last couple cards in this box here. Looks like the next one's going to be a Mike Piazza, and it's interesting Mike Piazza too. So Mike Piazza came in, I remember, it was 94. I want to say it was 94. And he was a huge rookie on the Dodgers and one of my favorite players. And I'm super shocked that I do not see more Mike Piazza cards. And I don't see Mike Piazza cards as a Dodger. I mean, I don't know what's going on here. I don't know why he didn't survive. I'm glad to see that one of his cards survived. I'm disappointed that it's a Mets. Obviously, me being a Dodger fan, I want to see my Mike Piazza as a Dodger. But this is a 10th anniversary team. Looking at these things, it's 1990 decade, 1999 decade dominators is what this is called. So it's a decade dominator. I'm assuming this is some type of numbered card. Would be the reason why it's in that right stack over there. It's a Mike Piazza, really good condition, a little scuffing at the top there, but overall very, very nice. I don't know about the centering. Right to left looks pretty good. Top looks good with the right to left, but I don't know about the bottom since it's so thick down there, so I'm not sure. But very nice card. 10th anniversary. Okay, it is numbered 1881 out of 4,000. You can see Mike Piazza right there, first team, top 3 catchers of the decade. I mean, this guy was awesome. Fairly certain he's in the Hall of Fame. Pretty shocked that I don't have more Mike Piazzas. Kind of sad about that. Wonder what happened. Wish I had memory. I wish I had a memory of what happened that made me stop collecting cards. I wish I had a memory of why I collected certain guys and not other guys. And unfortunately, I thought going through this would cue some of those memories, and not getting it. Not getting some of those memories that I was hoping to get. But there's our Mike Piazza on the Mets 10th anniversary team, 1881 out of 4,000. So fairly high number for a numbered card, but numbered card nonetheless. And my only Piazza that survived. So very interesting. Ooh. Oh, wow. I wasn't even paying attention. That is a recognizable card, I think, to most people. This is a Ken Griffey Jr. Topps. I'm pretty sure it's a rookie. Again, I don't see rookie on here. I thought this was a rookie, though. Yeah. Vermont, San Bruno, Bellingham. This is a 1989 Topps rookie. Look, there's even a $4. I must have purchased this somewhere. This must have been a card that I purchased from somebody back in the 90s who sold this to me for $4. What is going on down? There's some sort of stamp down here. It says, Ken did not play in the major leagues in 1988. He made his major league debut April 3rd, 1989. And this is a 1989 Topps. So true rookie card, but it doesn't say rookie on it, so that's kind of weird. Centering's a little off, left to right. Corners are fantastic. I don't know if these get graded or if these have any value. Ken Griffey Jr. rookie, I mean, got to have some value, right? I mean, he's not just my favorite player. He's whole generation's favorite player and every Mariners fan ever, right? So, I mean, very nice card, very good condition. I have no idea the value, but really excited to see that I have a junior rookie card in my collection. That is fantastic. That's absolutely fantastic. And I'm going to add him on top of my Ken Griffey Jr. pile, which has grown quite a bit. Grown quite a bit. There's all of my Ken Griffey Jr.'s I found. So that's pretty cool. And he's going to be right on top there. So that's awesome. Okay. So the last thing in this box, and this is crazy. It's really, really crazy. I'm going to try to, it's in this crazy slab. All right. And you'll see how crazy this is in just a second here. I'm going to take this out of here so you guys don't see it. The player that is on this card is a Hall of Famer. Huge pitcher in the 70s, 80s, and I think briefly in the 90s, maybe very, very early 90s. Holds tons of pitching records. Just tons. And my brother, being the pitcher that he was, shared his nickname. Everybody called him the same nickname that this pitcher had. And that name is the Rocket. And if you know who that is, it is Nolan Ryan. And this is a signature series autographed Nolan Ryan card. Just amazing. I can't believe this is in my collection. This is crazy. Nolan Ryan, the Rocket, significant signatures, Donruss signature series, and it's numbered, people. 20 out of 2000. What year is this? This is 98 Donruss. So there's a little snippet back here. It says, perhaps the most dominant pitcher of all time, Nolan could throw the ball past any hitter, as evidenced by his record 5,714 career strikeouts. I mean, come on. Talk about domination. I'm sorry. I'm a little speechless. I can't believe this card is in my collection. And I don't remember like ripping open a pack and pulling this. Like any of these signatures that I have, the Ben Grieve and the other ones, I wouldn't have paid for them. I wouldn't have had the money. I would not have been able to pay 15, 20, 100, anything. I mean, my collection is $1.99 to $3.99 packs. So I just have no memory. Like, how did this get in my collection? This is amazing. I can't believe it's here. This is nuts. Nolan Ryan, autographed, significant signatures, Donruss signature series. What was the year? 1998. Number 20 of 2000. What a way to end this video. This is nuts. So this is a slab. I don't even know where I got this. This is crazy. These nuts are kind of stripped. Like, I don't know, someone tried to over tighten them or something. And it's just two pieces of plastic, and they're just sandwiched together. They're just sandwiched together. I almost want to make the card's in good, seems in good condition. It's got a penny sleeve on it, but I kind of want to get it out of this slab. Like, I don't know. I think I'm going to get it out of this slab. Hold on. I am going to grab something. I have something over here. I'm up in my not my garage, but it's where I keep all my tools and stuff. So I have something over here. So hold on. Let me find this. Here we go. This is a power tool, and I'm going to take this out of here. I'm going to undo these screws. Yeah, they're pretty tight in there. I think someone might have overdone it. Probably me when I was really young. Probably took a Phillips screwdriver and just tightened the Jesus out of them. So there's the 4 screws. We're going to save those in case I decide to put it back in here. But here's the 4 screws. Excuse me. And here we go. So it's just 2 pieces of plastic sandwiched together. Here's the card. It wasn't stuck to anything, so it's got to be in pretty good condition. And here we are. Wow. Probably should have left it in there. I don't know. Maybe I was dumb. Let me know in the comments how dumb this was. But so it's a black autograph. Nolan Ryan. It's kind of got the foil thing going on there. Really cool. Corners are super sharp. Edging is phenomenal. This card is in perfect condition. I can't see one thing going on with this card. I'm going to look at it really closely, see what kind of surface it's got. I mean, this thing looks like it was just opened in a pack. I mean, it is clean, sharp. If I was to ever grade anything, I think this would be a card that I would grade. I mean, Nolan Ryan, super sharp. I bet this is a PSA 10. I don't know. I don't know how we grade cards. I've never done it before. And I don't know if this is a type of card that would typically be graded. Nolan Ryan, autographed, numbered. Gotta be, right? Someone would grade that. I'll have to look it up. Tell me in the comments. Let me know what's going on here. Let me know if I have a Holy Grail card or a so-so card, or how you feel about Nolan Ryan. I mean, for me, Nolan Ryan's one of the greatest pitchers ever lived. So I'm putting them in a different sleeve, different thing. Gonna get them nice and protected. And that's going to conclude this video. Absolutely amazing. Nolan Ryan, autograph, signature series. Don Russ. Very cool. Very cool. Well, thank you for joining me on this journey. It was really cool to see all these cards again. I want to say the latest card was 1999. So I have not looked at these cards, collected cards, watched baseball, been into baseball in at least 26 years from the last dated card. So that's pretty amazing. I'm really, really excited to get back into collecting cards. When Top Series 2 comes out, I am going to purchase some cases. I'm going to do some live rips. So look forward to that in future videos. Between now and then, stay safe, be well, and live your dream. Thank you.